That should start. Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming. It's really nice to have you guys here. So as I mentioned, we're recording just so that more people can get access. We're gonna do a pretty, I guess, like I think maybe only Kathy has been before, but generally I do a mix of meditation and journaling and some other practices. So the kind of plan for tonight is to do the meditation first, and then some journaling and self-care practices. And then hopefully, if we've got time, a second meditation before the end. As long as I keep to my plan and don't talk for too long at the wrong points. So it'll all just be gentle invitations. Take what serves you, ignore what you don't like, leave what doesn't resonate, and just enjoy yourself. Make sure you're comfortable. So, whatever posture works for you. And during the meditations, it's totally fine if you want to stand, sit, lie down, have a walk around, whatever works for you, and makes you most comfortable. And the theme for tonight, which you're hopefully aware of from the sign up, is, ooh, if I can get this to work. Next slide. Yep. So self-love, compassion, and kindness. I thought that would be a nice theme given, it's Valentine's next week, and you're probably every time you're out in the shops, you're seeing hearts everywhere and all of those things. But it would be nice to think about showing ourselves some love as well, and some compassion and kindness, because it's often quite easy to show it to other people, and then forget to give ourselves a dose of it as well. So that's going to be the theme for tonight. And do offer yourself kindness and compassion for anything that comes up during the session. And, if you want to take a break and go grab a cuppa at any point, do what works for you and just take your time and have a nice session, hopefully. So I am going to start with a meditation tonight, and it's going to be a kindness and kind of like self-love meditation. And of course, you're welcome to, do it with your eyes closed, do it with your eyes open, whatever posture works for you. And we'll probably spend about 5 or 10 minutes doing this meditation. We'll just see where it takes us. And yeah, you can have, camera on, camera off, whatever works for you. And just, whoop, that was just a cat jumping. Hopefully, you didn't hear that. And just get yourself comfortable. Get into whatever posture works for you. And we'll maybe just start for settling in by taking 5 deep breaths. So you can just take a big, deep inhale. Just sigh it out and let your body relax. Just get into any sort of posture that works for you. And while we're doing the meditation, if you need to change posture, just do what works for you. It really doesn't matter if you have to change position. Just make sure that you're nice and comfortable. So if you're going to start by just focusing on the sensations of your breathing and just noticing where you feel the breath in your body. Perhaps you can notice your chest rising and falling with your in-breath and your out-breath. Or maybe you feel it more strongly in your belly. Perhaps you can feel your belly expanding and subsiding. Just taking a moment to tune in to the rhythm of your breath. Noticing the movement with the inhale and the exhale. Perhaps you can feel your rib cage expanding and subsiding. Noticing any sensations that you feel in the front of the body as you're breathing. And the sides of the body. And the back of the body. And just allowing the weight of your body to sink into gravity, allowing the surface beneath you to hold you gently. If you're sitting, perhaps you can feel your back pressing against the back of the chair. Maybe you can notice your buttocks underneath you and your thighs pressing into the surface of your chair. And maybe feeling the feet grounded on the floor. Perhaps you can feel your shoulders beginning to relax a little and rising and falling with your breath. Just tuning in to any sensations that you notice throughout your body. Perhaps you can feel the contact of your hands in your lap. Maybe you can notice the temperature on your skin or the feeling of the air on your skin. Just noticing whatever sensations draw your attention. If your mind wanders during the meditation, that's very normal. You don't need to worry about that. Our minds are made for thinking. You can just gently bring your attention back to your body and the sensations there. If you feel any tension in your body, perhaps it will begin to gently release as you're breathing in and breathing out. And then I'm going to ask you or invite you to imagine the sun. Perhaps the sun just before sunrise, when there's a nice warm amber glow. And just picture that on the horizon. Feel the warmth of the sun shining on your body. Feel the kindly rays of the sun falling on you. And perhaps you can imagine the sun's rays washing over you. And just picturing the sun now in your heart space, in the center of your chest. Still feeling that warm glow from the amber light of the sun. And you can feel the sun's rays radiating inside your body from your heart, slowly seeping in. The rays are passing all the way. So up through your chest, your shoulders, your neck, your face and head, all the way to the top of your body. And seeping downwards as well. So all the way through your arms, your forearms, to your hands, and all the way to your fingertips. And from your chest down through your torso, through your buttocks, your pelvis, filling your legs with warm, radiant light until it reaches your toes. So spreading from your heart space all throughout your body, filling your body with a warm, kindly light, filling yourself with love and self-compassion. Just feeling that warm glow washing over you. And perhaps if you were feeling any tension, you can direct this warm glow towards it. And just continuing to feel these waves of light flowing throughout your body. You could imagine that they're flowing with your breath. So as you're inhaling, the light is expanding, and as you're exhaling, it's spreading all throughout your body, washing over you with kindness, with care, with self-compassion and love. And then taking your attention back to your breath, focusing on the sensations of your body as you're breathing. The inhale and the exhale. And slowly expanding your attention to the space around your body. Perhaps tuning in to sounds around you. Maybe feeling the air against your body. And if you have your eyes closed, perhaps noticing the light on your eyelids. And just taking a moment to come back to the room around you as we reach the end of this practice. And if you're ready to, you could slowly blink open your eyes. Maybe have a little bit of movement. And we'll just finish this meditation. Okay, thank you for that. You might want to change posture and stretch or jiggle a little bit. Get comfortable in whatever way works for you now. So that was just a kind of kindness meditation, and a chance to show yourself a bit of love and self-compassion. Um, and hopefully it was relaxing, and gets you ready for the rest of your evening or day, depending on what time zone you're in. So now we're going to move on to the journaling, part of the session. So hopefully you've got your notebook and pen ready or whatever it is that you prefer to write on. The way I'm going to do it, is just to kind of give a series of prompts for you to write. And I'll probably allow 2 or 3 minutes for each prompt. And the idea is that, you just start writing and don't really, prejudge it. Write whatever comes out. It doesn't matter if it doesn't quite match with the prompt. If you do get stuck and you can't really think of what to say, just write anything. Nobody else is going to read it, so it's totally up to you what you want to put down there. Don't worry if you go off on a tangent. And if you get, say, a minute in and you kind of get stuck, then you might want to go back to the original prompt and just start the sentence again and see if something new comes out for you this time. So it's all just going to be very simple prompts, but hopefully you will find them helpful. And I'm going to write too because I want to do it too and see what comes out. I'm always surprised sometimes by what I end up writing, so it's good fun. So the first prompt is going to be kindness to myself looks like dot 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 dot. So kindness to myself looks like dot 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 dot. And I'll tell you when the time is up, and then we'll move on to the next one. So thank you. Kindness to myself looks like. Okay, so if you want to finish up where you are on that prompt, and if you feel like any of the prompts you've got a lot more to say, maybe leave that page and then just start a new page for the next prompt so you can go back to it later if you want to write some more. So the next prompt is, I'd like to offer myself more compassion, dot, 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 dot. I'd like to offer myself more compassion, dot, 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 dot. Okay, so if you can finish up where you are on that one, then the next prompt is, I will show my body kindness by dot dot dot. I will show my body kindness by. Okay, if you'd like to finish up on that one. Then the next prompt is, I will show my mind kindness by. I will show my mind kindness by. Okay, and then the next one is, I will show my heart kindness by. I will show my heart kindness by. Okay, so if you can finish that one up. And then for the last prompt, it's going to be a little bit different. So rather than having a sentence and writing some things about it, I'd like you to write a list this time. So of things that you love about yourself, things that you love about yourself. If you find that a bit difficult, you could start with things that other people love about you, things that they've told you that they like, if that kind of gets the ball rolling for you. But ideally, things that you love about yourself, that you appreciate about yourself, and just write as many as you can think of. Okay, if you can finish off what you're writing at the moment. So that's all for the journaling for the time being. We'll use the paper and the envelope in a few minutes in another exercise. But I hope you find that helpful. And hopefully you came up with lots of things that you love about yourself. That's a little bit of a boost. So we're going to move on now to a very quick little bit about self-soothing practices that we can try. So you might already be familiar that the body has, different nervous systems. So we have the sympathetic nervous system, which is the arousing system that, gets us excited to go out and do things, to exercise and achieve lots of stuff. And then we've got the parasympathetic nervous system that is the calming side of our nervous system that, helps us to slow down and relax, and feel safe and comfortable. We do need both of them. If we only had the soothing system, we'd never get anything done, and we'd probably all starve to death and not have anything to eat or any resources. So we do need them both, but there is a tendency, obviously, in modern living, to spend a lot of our time in the sympathetic nervous system and be very activated all the time, especially when, we're on screens like we are now and very tied into digital devices these days. So it's a bit about having a balance, and trying to get the two nervous systems to work in partnership with each other and have a healthy collaboration. The problems really arise when we have like a chronically activated sympathetic nervous system. So if we're stressed or in pain for a long time, and we're dealing with problems like that, then we might spend too much time in our sympathetic nervous system and need to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, in order to regulate ourselves. So there are lots of different practices that can help us do this. A lot of mindfulness practices can help with this. So doing meditations, doing mindful movement and other types of mindful activities, just really focusing our attention on what we're doing, can be really helpful for activating our soothing system. And also kindness practices. So, treating ourselves with kindness, doing those types of kindness meditations. But there's also things that we can do physically, to activate our soothing system as well, to help do that self-regulation. So I'm just going to give a few examples of things that can help activate the soothing system. You might want to try them or, try them during your week, whenever it's comfortable for you. But just to give a few examples, one of the very easy ones is to just give yourself a hug. So if you're having that contact with your body, it does activate your oxytocin. And that's kind of like I think a lot of people call it like the kissing hormone or the love hormone. So just giving yourself that gentle hug and rub can activate that. Ideally, if it wasn't winter, I wouldn't have these big long sleeves on, and then you'd have the skin to skin contact, which is even better for it. So having that sort of hug for yourself, or if you've got a friend or a partner that can give you a hug, then that can be helpful too. But you always have your own arms accessible that you can have that hug, if you'd like to have it. And you can also do a bit of gentle self-massage. So, you could just give yourself that little relaxing massage, whether it's your arms or maybe your shoulders or neck, maybe a little bit of a head massage if that feels good. I really like a bit of head massage. I think it relaxes me quite a lot. And I think it's not until I actually start doing it that I realize maybe how much tension I was carrying there. And I can, even just doing this now, I can actually feel my shoulders dropping a bit and relaxing and not being quite so up in the ears, and stretched like that, which is really nice. Another massage you can do, I'm just going to take my glasses off for this one, is a bit of a face wash sort of massage. So you can be almost as if you were just washing your face with soap, just moving up the face from the bottom to the top, feeling your cheeks, just giving them a gentle rub, maybe feeling your eyes and your eyebrows. Luckily, I don't have any mascara on, so that's not too much of a problem. A little bit of forehead and just kind of washing away the tension can be really relaxing as well. Um, Another one that you've probably seen animals doing. Oh, Bob, have you got a question? Go for it.
That's a, that's not a question, just a comment. Something
Yeah.
I've started doing recently is EFT tapping.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
found that has been really useful and
Yeah.
really felt a different
Yeah. That's interesting. Maybe we'll do a session on that in the future. I'm not
quality.
trained in that, so I'm not sure if I know enough to be teaching it, but yeah, that would be an
There's,
interesting
there's,
one to do.
there's plenty of resources, and
Yeah. Yeah. So look, yeah,
the
I will.
person who taught me was a chaplain. So it's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So I'll note to self. I will remember that one for the future, to do. And then just one more sort of movementy one that I wanted to show you, is something that you probably see animals doing all the time. So they've had a bit of a shock, maybe a dog or a cat or something, and they just basically jiggle and just shake it all out and just let the tension go. And that does actually kind of disperse the adrenaline around your body. So, you could get up in your kitchen or something and just shake everything as much as you want. You could do it really gently, whatever works for your body. You could just be sitting and give your arms a bit of a jiggle. And that can help, particularly if it's more the kind of stress where you're quite hyped up and your adrenaline's really pumping or your cortisol's really pumping and you feel like you just need to slow down and calm down a bit. But maybe sitting there doing some deep breathing isn't hitting it because you're still a bit too wired and jiggly. So just shaking it all out before you try and do something a bit slower can be really helpful as well. And then there's all sorts of different things that you can do with, say, textures and stuff. So, I mean, I've got a lovely fleecy blanket that I'm sitting under at the moment, and smells and things. I've got a really nice scented candle burning in the background. Just basically any sort of soothing practices that you feel work for you as well. You've probably got go-to ones already that you like to do that help to relax you. So it's just kind of finding that bit of balance and noticing in your body when you feel like you need to be doing these and just paying attention to those sensations. Um, then what I'm going to invite you to do now, because we're almost out of time, is if you've got the piece of paper and the envelope that I'm hoping you've got along with you, I'm just going to give you a few minutes this time to write a letter to yourself. And this is going to be a love letter to yourself. So you could just start, say, Dear, I want you to know, dot, dot, dot. So I'm going to write, Dear Holly, I want you to know. And then I'm going to write myself a little love letter. And then the idea is that we write these, we finish them, we put them in the envelope for ourselves, and then you open them on Valentine's Day, and you read the letter to yourself. So you've got a nice little message to look forward to. So I'm just going to give you 5 minutes maybe to do that. If you're finished before then, that's fine. But I feel like this might take a little bit longer than some of the other journal prompts. And if you're struggling to know what to say, you can always flick back through what you wrote in the earlier prompts, and maybe you can remember some of the things that you said you loved about yourself while you're writing your letter. So I'll just give you 5 minutes for that. Thanks. Okay, if you want to start wrapping up on your letter, you can always carry on after the session ends, if you've got more to say to yourself. There might be lots that starts flowing out. I guess just one thing to say is do make sure that you tell yourself in it that you love yourself. Maybe you can finish your letter that way, just whatever feels good to you. And then when you're finished with it, do put it in an envelope. I've given myself a little heart on my envelope, and I'm going to seal it up, and then open it next week on Valentine's Day. Oh, that looks amazing, Kathy. That is much more artistic than my attempts. But yeah, I hope you find that useful, and a nice exercise to remind you how much you matter, and what a difference you make in the world, and how to be kind to yourself, and show yourself some love. We are about out of time, so I'm afraid I'm not going to do the second meditation this time. But hopefully we can do it in the next session. We might do or the one after. We'll see what fits into different sessions and what the best fit is for them. So do take care of yourselves after this. You might be feeling a little bit tender after writing this letter, and all the different journaling prompts. Maybe some things have come out. So do treat yourself tenderly, and ease back into your evening, or I think it's daytime for you, Kathy. And do just take it gently, and relax and be kind to yourself. I'll just give you a reminder of a couple of upcoming events that I've got. So there's co-working on Tuesday if you're interested in that. That's also on Luma. And then we have the meditation circle on Sunday 22nd, if you want to come along to that. That one's a little bit different. We just do one meditation. It's just a drop in, and it's between 15 and 30 minutes, just depending on what we're feeling on the day and how long people want to stay around. So that'll be at the end of the month. And then we've got the workshop next month. The next Bloom and Grow workshop is on movement and grounding. So it won't be anything energetic. It will be, mindful movement and meditative movements. So all quite soothing and yeah, relaxing, hopefully, and help us ground ourselves a little bit. Um, if anybody does want to share anything that isn't going to be recorded, I will turn off the recording in a second. But before I do that, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for coming along. It's been a real pleasure doing the session with you tonight. I will eventually get the replay posted. I'm still trying to figure out the technology on Substack for that, but I will hopefully get it up pretty soon. And there will also be replays for the previous workshops. So if you've missed those, you'll be able to do them as well. There was a winter well-being workshop, and then in January, we did a workshop on kind of setting gentle intentions for the year ahead. I think that was the one you were at, Kathy, maybe, if I'm remembering correctly, or maybe it was the winter one. I'm not quite sure which was which now. But I will post those replays. But yeah, I'm going to stop the recording now. But thank you so much.